One of the biggest new features Microsoft announced at its Build Developer Conference last week is the addition of a Linux subsystem for Windows that lets developers run the popular Bash shell on a PC. Here's how to get it set up. Now, if you're interested in getting started with Linux on Windows, how weird is that? What you want to do is you want to make sure that you have the latest insider preview build of Windows 10, as well as some patience to filter through about the next half dozen steps of jumping through different settings screens. So here's how it works. First things first, you want to go into your Settings app on your computer and open up the Update and Security pane. If you haven't joined the Windows Insider program yet, what you want to do is actually go into Advanced Options, and then you'll see here that there's a section labeled Get Insider Preview Builds. You want to make sure that you're signed up for Insider Preview Builds and that you're set to the fast ring. This is basically only useful for development machines. Sometimes these insider builds are going to have bugs in them that will break the way your computer typically works. So if you only have one PC, you might want to wait until Microsoft releases a more stable version of this build to the Windows Insider program's slow ring. But once you're all set with that and you've installed the latest build, which in this case is build 14316, that's a mouthful, you're then going to go back to the Update and Security pane and click on the For Developers tab. You want to make sure that your device is signed up and set up for developer mode. This only works if you're in developer mode, unfortunately. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and close that Settings app, go into Search, and look up Windows Features. And open up this control panel setting for turn Windows features on or off, and scroll down to Windows Subsystem for Linux Beta. What you're going to do is you're going to check that and click OK. And after that, what it's going to do is it's going to connect to the Windows Store and download the required files. Once you've done that, it'll ask you to restart your computer. Now that we're back, what you're going to go and do is go ahead and open up the search box again and launch a command prompt and go ahead and type bash. And now what it is going to tell you is that this is a beta feature and it will install Ubuntu on your PC, which is pretty cool. And then you just tap Y, and it's going to go ahead and phone out to the Windows Store and take its darn sweet time downloading everything that you need. But once that download process is finished, you're actually going to have Bash running on Windows for your pleasure. And it's just going to take a couple of quick minutes, waiting for the file system to extract. Once the installation is completed, you can go ahead and search for Bash on Ubuntu on Windows, and that'll open up a new Bash prompt. And as you can see, this is really Bash. It's really running on Windows through Linux. This is cool. There are a few caveats though. First of all, it's beta software. Stuff is just gonna break because bugs exist, and this is the first time Microsoft has released this to the world. The second thing is that not all of the packages that you're going to want are going to work, and those that do, you're going to have to go and get through apt-get. This is just known. Third, if you're used to accessing Windows apps through a command line interface, you won't be able to do that in Bash, unfortunately. So if you want to get at Visual Studio Code, you won't be able to get to that in Bash. Fourth, although it shows you running as root, you don't actually have root access unless you launch the Bash prompt as an administrator through Windows. In the future, Microsoft is going to make it possible for you to associate Bash with a user account so that you can then use sudo to elevate your permissions. But until that happens, you're still going to kind of have to treat this like a Windows app. Other than that, this is really Bash. It's really cool. For those of us who are used to working in Unix shell environments, this is going to be a big help when it comes to doing development tasks on Windows. So with that, good luck out there.